There it is, everybody. $100,000. $100,000 Bitcoin breached. Years. I mean, for me, for all of you, years in the making. I've been just doing these videos for so long, and it feels like yesterday. 2018 bear market bottom, like $4,000, waiting for this type of moment. Is this insane? If you've been here over the years, smash the like button for me. If you're new, smash the like button. This is a big day. What I put in the, if you're in the live chat, and by the way, if you're a replay viewer, I'll put timestamps if you want to skip around the video. But if you're in the live chat, I put in there, like, does this seem like euphoria to you? Yes or no? I'm going to be very curious to see what the results of that are, because I don't. I was just relaxing with my wife. I got notified. Coin market cap notification, $100,000 was Bitcoin's approaching 100,000. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Because I was kind of like, I don't sense that hype. I felt more excited and I saw more hype in the market at $20,000 back in the day. I think this is very bullish, that sense. And that's partly what I want to talk about in this video, but we're going to dive into the charts, everybody. $100,000 is just a number. So we can talk about the number, but I do want to dig into the charts. Like, this is a 4-hour chart. I want to talk about, if we put aside the number, the emotional number, or the kind of mental number of it all, crazy milestone. But if we put that aside, there's some technical analysis I do want to go over in the video. I want to start here though, as kind of just like a refresher, or even just a reminder, a foundation to what is actually happening right now. I want to just take a look at this clip real quick.
What do you think of that idea?
I don't think that's how people think about it. I mean, it's so, people use Bitcoin as a speculative asset, right? It's like gold. It's just like gold, only it's virtual. It's digital. People are not using it as a form of payment or as a store of value. It's highly volatile. It's not a competitor for the dollar. It's really a competitor for gold. That's really how I think of it.
So there's a lot there to unpack, but Jerome Powell is saying, by the way, Fed Chair Jerome Powell is saying Bitcoin is a competitor to gold. Do you understand that? So, and I don't know if you've been in the crypto space for years or not, but if you've been around, this is something that is just like, if you would have told any of us, even a year ago, that this would be a clip right now, the same day Bitcoin's breaking $100,000, 4 years ago, if you would have said this, you'd be out of your mind. This is the world that we live in right now. I want to go over and kind of continue just setting the tone here. New York Stock Exchange listed the first gold ETF in November 2004, and the price never came back. Many economic factors have affected the gold price, but listing ETF would have played a major role in the inflow of global institution funds. We may never see this Bitcoin price again once ETFs approved. So this was back in May of 2021. This is, again, years in the making, but the data is the same. Look at the first gold ETF listed on New York Stock Exchange, and look what happened after. It was pretty much up only. When we talk about we're in this new era for crypto, I think it's very clear this cycle how that's true. I think it's very clear this cycle how things are different right now as we're looking at these charts. So we're going to look at the charts. We're going to dig into the charts. But I want to go over a couple of things. What I wanted to do was discuss kind of the Trump transition, the Trump administration coming into play. It has a lot to do with the current cycle, and I think the trajectory of it compared to if that wasn't the case. It just is what it is. I was just talking with Plutus over here on X, always having conversations. He asked, because we were talking about like how much bull market is left, right? And he said, what are your thoughts here? He gave me some of his thoughts, and then I just kind of went on a little tangent. And I just said, if we enter Trump era and not only see bullish crypto narratives, but pro-America economy narratives, I think the slow grind up with like 20% dips mixed in makes most sense. Think about this. Less wars narrative. Trump saying, don't sell your Bitcoin narrative. Crypto capital of the world. He wants to be the crypto capital of the world approach. These things are going to drive a momentum, in my opinion. We've never had a cycle where Putin and Trump and all these governments are posturing like they are for Bitcoin. So from these things and these perspectives, it is different. I don't want to get overhype. I don't want to get ahead of myself. And he just said, yeah, political unrest needs to stop. It hasn't seems to matter too much yet, but it needs to stop to give market confidence, which is why when I see Larry Fink, et cetera, talking about tokenizing everything, it feels like they're just trying to create a whole new money market to get rich off. So I can't see them letting a good bubble go to waste. This is brand new territory, everybody. These institutions just got on board. They're just coming on board. They've waited this long, and we're sitting at $100,000. And just from my sentiment radar, just as a content creator, I just don't see the hype. I just don't see the euphoria right now. I know there's a lot of people that are like, it's, we're getting towards the top here. I just don't think that's the case. I could be wrong, right? Maybe we are going to top. Maybe we get a nice little run to $110,000 and it's the end of the bull market. I don't know. But I just don't think that's the case, especially when we start evaluating and zooming out on a Bitcoin chart, for instance, and we start really looking at where we are in the cycles. Before we dive into kind of the technical analysis for Bitcoin, I wanted to bring up this chart because it means a lot to me. This was a chart, and it's still an idea on TradingView. You can post your ideas. I posted this idea, you can see December 18th, 2018, and it was based on the cycles of Bitcoin. It was based on all the data that I'm always talking about on this YouTube channel over the years. You can see where Bitcoin price was. It was just around 3,500 to 4,000 at the bottom of the bear market. And we had speculatively the cycles of Bitcoin playing out into the 2020 halving, and then a bear market, and then into the 2024 halving. And just look at where we are. If I kind of scroll over, we are in December 2024 on this chart. Bitcoin on this chart, I had it speculatively at around $150,000. But do you realize how excited this makes me? 2018, Bitcoin's less than 4,000. My chart speculates around 150,000 at this moment, years and years and years later, and here we are. And I'm not trying to like pump myself up here, okay? This is nothing special, what I did back then. And my analysis on the YouTube channel is really nothing special. It's just taking data that is cyclical and anticipating for that to continue. That is all it is. And that has led to a lot of success for a lot of people in the space just by doing that. And so this was based off of the pattern of three events: a halving, all-time high, and then after all-time high, there's consolidation and a bear market. That's what it's based off of. And it really revolves around a Bitcoin supply shock, a diminishing supply that is circulating. And so here we are, everybody, $100,000 Bitcoin. So I really do. I don't want to just harp on $100,000 this whole video. We broke it. It's awesome. It's a milestone. It has been achieved. We're at $101,000. But I do just want to digress a little bit and just kind of pivot into, and let me kind of update this screen over here. I want to pivot into the shorter term technical analysis of it all. So here we are, 4 hours, 4 hour chart. Put aside 100,000, put aside the hype. We broke a pattern. We broke a pattern on the 4 hour chart. We had two scenarios we've been talking about anyway, a scenario to the upside and a scenario to the downside. I want to say, and I'm not like a bear. You all know, I just said, I think we have a lot of bull market left. I'm not a bear, but downside is still in play actually with the pattern. And I think I even mentioned in a video the other day talking about this pattern, the potential for a fake out to the downside and then kind of this pullback to the pattern, and we get a busted pattern. And the same can be true for a breakout to the upside, a throwback to the triangle. So these things are always in play. And that's really what I want to evaluate now. So this is what it looks like on the 4 hour chart. I want to take a quick glance on the daily just so I can kind of see where moving averages are. So there's the pattern on the daily, and it's crazy. Just a little bit of consolidation around, I think it was around 2 weeks of consolidation and then the breakout. This is the picture perfect bull market continuation setup. Get overextended from the moving averages, which is what I'm always looking for. You all know I repeat it nonstop. And then pull into the moving average and put some type of structure. We got the structure. This is what it looks like on the 4 hour. Here's what it looks like on the daily. So right now, you can just see we're in a way more comfortable spot when it comes to the 20-day moving average. We're not in this like scenario over here where we're way overextended. And if you remember, it wasn't even long ago. I mean, this was towards the end of November. Bitcoin overextended almost 20%. Then we start consolidating into the 20-day moving average. So target to the upside, if we go to the 4 hour, target to the upside is close to $110,000. It's not that crazy of a move. You can see Bitcoin on this 4 hour chart from the swing low, lower trend line has already moved around 7% to get to where it is in the last day or so. A move to around 108,000 is just around another 6.5%, 7%. So target could be hit rather quickly if this hype continues on the short term. So going back now to the, I want to go to a weekly chart. This is a Bitcoin dominance chart, by the way. I definitely wanted to view this just to get a sense of what is happening with Bitcoin dominance. All of the talk, especially on my YouTube channel, many others, has been altcoin season starting right there. November 21st, Bitcoin just kind of starts falling, starts breaking the key moving averages. So it's very notable to see what Bitcoin is doing right now as it's breaking 100,000. It's making its own little power move. And we want to see that. We're not just going to see red candles to the downside nonstop in altcoin season. But I'll show you what I'm looking for now. If we go back to last cycle when Bitcoin was making the very similar move it is now, not breaking $100,000, but kind of breaking down on the Bitcoin dominance chart, you can just see there were throwbacks, pullbacks along the way, green candles along the way. Even after breaking the 200-day moving average, which Bitcoin just did on the current daily chart, you can just see there's green candles, power moves on Bitcoin. What I'm watching for is any type of resistance below the moving averages similar to back then, and just really sideways on the Bitcoin dominance chart and resistance below the moving averages. So if we go just look at it now, we have a little bit of separation from the moving averages now. Even from the 20-day, you can see Bitcoin currently separated around 3%. At one point was around 6%. So pulling back into these areas is 100% in play and good and healthy for Bitcoin dominance as well as altcoin season, because I know there's a ton of altcoin people out there in the chat. So I'm just glancing at the chat, see what everybody's talking about. I guess we have somebody that needed to be banned, and I'm not sure if I have any mods in here right now. I need to get some mods. So that's Bitcoin dominance. It's looking really good. Want to see breaks to the upside. Want to see power moves for Bitcoin if we want to see continuation for altcoins. Altcoins have been consolidating. I actually just did a post on X just saying I would like to see them consolidate even more. I just would feel more comfortable. I like dips, everybody. I like dips in bull markets. We have not had really any significant crazy dips yet in this bull market for altcoins. So want to go over here to the daily chart and take a glance at the pattern, take a glance at the breakout, take a glance at where altcoin season is. And I just want to go over here to last cycle. Again, this is my style. I use cyclical data to get a sense. And the way that these charts replay themselves, the moves, they happen. And it's because humans are behind these moves. $102,000 right now as I'm doing the video. Crazy. So look at this chart right now. There's Bitcoin on the daily. Last cycle, altcoin season. So there's Bitcoin dominance falling. And you can just see consolidation for Bitcoin before going higher. So we're kind of, if we're looking at the Bitcoin chart back then, we're kind of in this breakout moment, right? And this was post altcoin season beginning, Bitcoin dominance falling, and Bitcoin's in this breakout moment. This is what happened last cycle at this moment, and it's almost identical to what is happening right now. So take note of, if we measure the time frame of that breakout moment for Bitcoin to the ultimate high, we're looking at around 274 days. So that's not me saying this is exactly how the pattern and the structure will repeat. That's not me saying it's going to be 274 days of bull market left, But I think that really gives a nice, solid guide in terms of how much time might be left of the bull market. And then we can even go back another cycle ago and we can look at Bitcoin dominance falling back here. Post-Bitcoin having almost identical time frame, consolidation on the daily chart right there, and then a breakout moment right here. From that breakout moment to all-time high, how long did that last? 231 days. So each cycle from the moment where we are right now, this move that is happening right now, is around 200 to 300 days. So 200 to 300 days of bull market is very much in play, not to mention everything that I just mentioned, right? In terms of all the narratives that are different this cycle. So I think there's a lot of room for upside for Bitcoin and obviously even more for altcoins. It looks like Bitcoin just hit $103,000. It's crazy. Everybody's hype, I know. By the way, everybody, thanks for coming on this random. It's a very last minute. I almost didn't do the live stream. I'm telling you, I'm very excited about 100,000, but I don't know. It's not like gotta go do a live stream. This is awesome. This is sick. It wasn't like that. But I just, for me, for my YouTube channel, been waiting for this moment for so long. I was like, I'll regret not just going and doing a live stream and tracking this. I put in the title of the video, like, altcoins are next, because this is what I've been tracking most. It's definitely the Bitcoin dominance chart. And we have this altcoin trigger that just went off. So I'm very much looking at altcoins. And if you just go to total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can see we've not even really closed any candles above all-time high on this chart. And get rid of this. And right now, as Bitcoin's making this nice power move, and we actually have, we have a green daily candle kind of information right now. It looks like altcoins, what are they trying to move up? Yeah, they are. I'm looking. So even altcoins are trying to get a little bounce. Let's go to ADA BTC just on the daily to get a sense. So just really nice consolidation on ADA BTC pair. I imagine a lot of the BTC pairs would look very similar. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it from the perspective of altcoins. Obviously, I have Cardano chart up. We have an XRP chart up. But just look at, zoomed out on a Cardano chart. Altcoin season right here. Altcoin season back here. We are truly in this moment of consolidation. We just looked at it on Bitcoin charts, and this is what it looks like on an ADA chart now. You can see, and I'll zoom in because I know it's ridiculously difficult to see that, but you can see on this chart really big dips. And this is something that I talked about in, I think, today's video. There was I think one of these dips is 40%. Let me just measure this. So at this moment last cycle, ADA was dipping, there we go, 40%. And then it made a little bounce to the upside. And then we dipped 30% before going into that really, really nice parabolic move. And this plays a lot into ADA's path back to $3. This is something I talked about in today's video. ADA all-time high in 30 to 60 days is very much in play based on that historical data. But look at it now. So we just looked at this moment, around this moment last cycle, and this needs to be on November 21st, this line. At this moment last cycle, we were seeing a 30% dip and a 40% dip, I believe it was, right? So far we've seen like a 24% very quick dip. And right now, the current dip that we're in, it's not even looking like too much of a dip. It's looking like very general resistance, but it's a 15% dip. I want to say something. I wish I had the comment. I think I saved it. Somebody did mention in a YouTube comment or an X comment, and I absolutely just never thought of this. And I kind of feel like an idiot that I've not thought of this. But they were like, everybody's always talking about diminished returns for cryptos, especially the blue chips, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and eventually Cardano. Cardano is going to have diminished returns even this cycle compared to last cycle. Meaning each cycle, the gains get less. So from a Cardano chart, at this moment last cycle to all-time high, we saw 1,000% gain, right? So from this moment, if we want to repeat 1,000% gain, we are going to see a $12 ADA. I'm not saying it's out of the equation, but it's very, very possible that ADA just kind of goes to maybe $5 to $10, maybe $8, and we're seeing diminished returns there, right? From this moment, it would be 500 some percent. And if you really take it from the swing low here to that moment, that's 2,700%. And if we take it from last cycle, the swing low to the all-time high is 3,900%, diminished returns. But somebody said, everybody's talking about diminished returns, but they never really talk about maybe that would lead to less volatile dips. And it really did. A light bulb went off. Like I was like, how did I not think about that? Because it's such a good, obvious point. So yeah, maybe we do get dips, but maybe they're not as pronounced or as aggressive and volatile and I should say for the cryptos that have been around a while that are getting these diminished returns. So if you're out there, whoever mentioned that comment, thank you. I don't remember where it was, if it was on X or YouTube, but I think it might've been YouTube. But what a good point. Diminished returns across cycles, maybe the dips are diminished as well, not as volatile. But even still, for me, when I'm looking at a Cardano chart, for instance, a dip into the moving averages is just something I always look for. It's not something that's guaranteed, but something I look for. But right now, you can even see ADA wants to make a move to the upside. ADA, in terms of bull market doors, ADA is just testing the upper end of the bull market doors. So last cycle, at this moment, when ADA broke the bull market doors, you can see in red back last cycle, it went with great velocity to break all-time high. And this is why I'm saying an all-time high for ADA could be way closer than a lot of people think. And it can happen really in the next 30 to 60 days. So that's what an ADA chart looks like. Mark says to live stream all night. I probably would, but like when I'm just like sitting here talking for hours and hours, I did the live stream on election night. It's 5.5 hours. And I got off that live stream, my throat was so sore. Belief phase. I don't have the market emotion, the emotions of market cycles up, but I do think belief phase is kind of where we are right now. I got to check. Let's see. I don't even think I have an HBAR chart, but I'm going to check because I know it's been going crazy. And every time I'm doing these videos, it's just blowing up my chat. HBAR. Let's just go look. So it's up 5%. It's just ridiculous. Look at these candles. Incredible. Incredible bull market candles. A bull market chart, swing low, November 6th, not even a month ago, everybody. Look at, and just, this is the best illustration of crypto. Not even a month ago, this chart was done. People were selling, being like, man, why did I hold this? And then it pumps almost 1,000%, really in a matter of days. Welcome to crypto. This is crypto. This is crypto. Currently up around 637% and trying to find its own structure on this daily chart. What boggles my mind though is when you zoom out on a chart like this, it's kind of like, the move that's happening now, all these cryptos they're just at a higher price than they were at this time last cycle, right? And so this is besides the timeline perspective, this is what plays into, most people's theory that there's a lot of upside left. I mean, these cryptos that are making really nice moves have not even broken all-time high, at least most of them. So there's a lot of upside left. That candle, or these candles, are crazy on HBAR. And then we have Dog. I have to give a mention to Dog. I'm so bullish. People are just like, well, I don't know why you're bullish on this thing. It's not even doing anything. But actually, just look at this chart, the most healthy chart in all of crypto right now. Regarding Dog, it's the most logical play of the cycle. Most have no idea that the game hasn't even started yet. People sleeping on runes have no clue what's about to happen. So I want to mention this because this is, and most people know ADA is my top hold. Dog, the number one meme coin on Bitcoin, is my second top hold, everybody. So I'm not shilling this to you. I'm not trying to tell you to go buy it, but I'm just absolutely tracking this. This YouTube channel is my crypto journey, and I'm documenting every step of the way. So Bitcoin's breaking 100,000. Altcoins have been going crazy. Dog is just in this upward kind of higher low pattern right now, waiting to take off. And I'm just continually interested to see how this story plays out. There's Doge in orange from last cycle. At this moment, it looks like it was breaking $1 billion market cap. So Dog is kind of lacking in that regard to the day. It would have been awesome if Dog broke the $1 billion market cap on December 4th, but it is not. I do want to actually look at, I want to look at, we'll take a glance at XRP. I want to look at Ethereum, but we can also look at SUI. I saw somebody mention it in the chart. I know, let me change this. This is on a 4-hour. I want to kind of look at the weekly, actually. What chart is this? You can tell how much I follow SUI because this is like a terrible chart. Let's change it. Let's go to, what are we thinking? Finance? A little better. Anyway, again, after a few weeks of consolidation, looks like it's breaking all-time high. I don't know, is this a move from like right now? Is this happening? I go to 4-hour. So we have altcoins making a move to all-time high as Bitcoin's breaking $100,000. I'm definitely in the hours ahead even. Let me see where Bitcoin price is at right now. $103,000, everybody. So in the hours ahead tonight, I'm very curious about the total crypto market cap. There's total crypto market cap, 3.6 trillion all-time high, but the total 3, which is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'm very curious to see if in the hours ahead this actually follows kind of what I put in the title of the video, altcoins next. If we see this kind of start really breaking out for altcoins, I will be really surprised. I just posted this. I just posted. Where is this? Finally seeing some relevant dip action for altcoins. I was like settling down for the day and thinking, all right, I think the next couple of weeks, next week, I think it's going to be slow. I think we're going to get a little nice dip, some red candles. That made me feel good. I said, will sound crazy to some, but I want to see lower. Another 10 to 20% is fine with me. Dips at last days are required to see the kind of gains we all want to see. And maybe I'm wrong, everybody. Maybe the cycle is different. That's coming from my experience through these cycles. We just talked about it on an ADA chart specifically, kind of looking at like what dips look like in bull markets. I can tell you what, when you go to the total crypto market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, we're not getting too much of that just yet. So I was visualizing and kind of dreaming about some move like this, at least pulling into the 20-day moving average into the 900 billion area, 950 billion before going higher. And I don't know. I'm going to be watching this in really the short term in the coming hours. We have somebody who says, I want to see a pullback. And there's a lot of people that want to see a pullback because they want to buy more. For me, that's not even it. I'm just kind of hanging out in the bull market. I'm chilling. It's not to deploy more capital for me. It's more so I like to see that reset on the charts and haven't seen it just yet. And it's pretty crazy as Bitcoin's breaking $100,000. Altcoins are actually they look like they want to make a power move as well. They're just like, they feel left out of the party, I guess. What else is moving? XRP. So XRP, that's starting to see some consolidation. Let's go look at the daily. 3 red candles. That's a start, right? From swing high to swing low. I know it doesn't look like much, but we're looking at ultimately 24% dip, 25% dip for XRP. That's good. But again, still that overextension from the 20-day moving average. Even if it's sideways, whatever it takes to get that structure for altcoins to pull into the 20-day. pretty much exactly like what Bitcoin did on its own daily chart. We got this really explosive move for Bitcoin, and then it pulled into the 20-day. I just want to see altcoins do that. That's all I want to see. I will say, let me digress from that. If it doesn't happen and altcoins like ADA just keep pumping to the upside, XRP even, it just starts pumping to the upside again, I won't mind. I will not mind. I wanted to look at Ethereum chart, especially now, actually. What is Ethereum on the short term not doing anything, pretty much. Wants to at a critical area. You can see this. And again, this chart needs to be updated. Altcoin season, November 21st. November 21st is right when Bitcoin dominance started really falling. So Ethereum, just look at this. I think it's clear. I don't know if I'm not like this major Ethereum bull. I respect the Ethereum chart, especially from an indicator perspective. I think this is just, if you really want to look at any altcoin chart to get a sense of, okay, pretty sure there's a good amount of bull market left, I think this is the best chart. I can illustrate it on XRP chart. I can illustrate it on a Cardano chart. I can probably illustrate it on any altcoin chart that has kind of been through cycles, but there is no better illustration than what you're looking at on the screen right now. And even from a daily chart perspective, let's note two things. Number one, the pattern that Ethereum is within, and the upper trend line at the apex of the pattern that is currently being tested, like literally right now. The target to the upside, we're going to talk about in just a moment, is around $18,000. But I want to talk about why it's like so good from a technical perspective. But the other thing I wanted to make a note of is just, if you look at Ethereum at this moment last cycle, so here's altcoin season, the purple line. Look at it last cycle around this moment. It was kind of in a similar type of move, right? More powerfully so, but similar type of move. It's like, hey, is Ethereum, is it going to break all-time high in this consolidation? And people right now are like, is Ethereum going to break all-time high? So currently Ethereum is around, 25% from all-time high. This is a move that will it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. We talked about XRP when it wasn't moving not too long ago on this YouTube channel, just saying XRP out of nowhere, it's just gonna go parabolic. It's what it does. Ethereum is gonna have its moments. It's been getting a lot of hate. Maybe there will be more consolidation before it happens. Not sure if it's going to happen immediately right this moment. But what I wanted to mention is, besides the fact that the moment will happen, I genuinely think that we're going to see Ethereum just start taking off probably on days where other altcoins are maybe red or not doing anything. Ethereum's going to be outperforming. It'll be headlines for the day, for the week. And there we go, running out of disk space. Thank you, Mac. That's great. See, I have literally a million tabs. I needed to upgrade my computer. If the live stream crashes, you know why, everybody. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe on your way out before my live stream crashes. And make sure you hit the like button if you enjoyed this content. So I do want to cover this on Ethereum though, because it's just such a beautiful looking chart. We have the target to the upside, but do you just notice the flow of this chart? We have this upper trend line that's going back here to the 2018 swing high, to the last bull market swing high, now to this bull market potentially swing high, $18,000, $20,000 target out of this pattern. It just doesn't get any more just symmetrical and nice looking than this for Ethereum. And remember, it is diminished gains. I mean, from where Ethereum is right now, it's, to 15,000, it's 300% gains. To 20,000, 400 some percent. That's something. That's a lot. But other altcoins have potentially a lot more upside, the newer altcoins. But this is an OG. But let's remember, this cycle, there's a lot going for Ethereum, and that is the institutional narrative, spot ETH ETF. We saw at the beginning of the video what happens when gold got an ETF. Get a sense of what might be happening with Bitcoin next. It could be up only. We could be entering an era of up only. And again, I just opened this, and I wanted to mention this at the beginning of the video, but I'll mention it now. Dude, Macs are awesome. Somebody asked why I'm using a Mac. My boy Brian in the chat's looking at Hosky. I don't know. Is Hosky pumping? I was told not to accumulate Hosky on Cardano, and it's a scam, and it's meant to be at 0, and then it pumps like 1,000%. That's a scam. That's a scam. I could have been accumulating the whole time. What a day of epic sound bites for the Bitcoin marketing team. So I really genuinely, the best thing besides doing technical analysis on Bitcoin right now is $102,000. What gets me most excited to do these videos lately has been just revisiting and like re-echoing what's happening right now. Because I think we look at price, especially if you've been in crypto for a while, we look at price and it's just kind of like, all right, where are we in the bull market? Typical bull market cycle happening. But I do get stuck in that, but I forget everything that's happening right now. So we have Putin saying who can ban Bitcoin? Nobody. We have Jerome Powell. It's just like gold, only it's virtual. We just saw a clip of that. We have Mayor of New York. We should not be afraid of Bitcoin. Actually, he was in this interview or in this press conference or whatever. I don't know if you saw this. He was basically like, y'all were making fun of me when I was buying Bitcoin. Now who's laughing now? I don't recommend or encourage gloating, by the way. Bitcoin represents the digital, this is Michael Saylor. Bitcoin represents the digital transformation of hundreds of trillions of dollars of capital. Okay. These headlines, these things, they have never happened, everybody. So this is where we are right now. All while Bitcoin just broke 100,000. So just to revisit, I know there's a lot of new people from when I was doing the Bitcoin analysis earlier. I do want to, yes, I agree. So much global adoption and interest recently. It's so intriguing, everyone coming out of the woodwork. What's happening? Everybody's coming out of the woodwork. So Bitcoin on the 4 hour. Put aside the 100,000. Target to the upside around 108,000 or so. And in play right now, it's just crazy just even look back on the chart and just be like, it's in price discovery. Bitcoin's in price discovery above 100,000. It just boggles my mind. But putting aside all of that, I would definitely look for $100,000 to see if it can see any type of support. I'm not going to start zooming in on the hourly, although I'm curious to see what that's going to start looking like soon, to see if we're going to get any type of throwback to 100,000 for support. But for me, it's really the apex of this entire triangle. What do we wake up to tomorrow morning is really the question for me. Is Bitcoin going to have any type of throwback to the symmetrical triangle? Meaning upper trend line around 97,000, lower trend line around 95. Are we going to have a throwback? And if we do, can there be support for continuation? Or, I have to put this out there, I'm not bearish. I'm not a bear, y'all know. But are we getting a busted pattern? If we get the throwback and that support fails at the apex, are we actually going to continue down to $85,000? I just want to say this. From a technical analysis perspective, I don't care if Bitcoin's above 100,000. I don't care if everybody's excited. That move is very much in play. We see so often a break to the downside, and then we get a busted pattern to the upside. We get all excited about that. The same can happen to the downside. It's a busted pattern. I mean, it's like you have a symmetrical triangle, breakout to the upside. People will go long here being like, this is it. We're getting the breakout. I'm going long to 108, 110,000. And then we get this throwback, failure, busted pattern, target to downside hit. So mid 80s is very much in play. I just want to put that out there. If it happens, I will do a video talking about the move when we're crashing. And I'll probably replay this clip just to illustrate the technical analysis move and just to illustrate that it's normal and it's really not that big of a deal. You go to the daily chart, what is in the mid 80s? Well, right now, 82,000 is the 50-day moving average. So in a bull market, this is my way of thinking, my way of analysis. I'm just always looking at the 50 and the 20-day, and I don't care if Bitcoin is right here overextended currently from the 20-day around 9%, or all the way up here overextended 30%, I'm always just going to allow consolidation into these both moving averages, the 20 and the 50. And that's very simply because this is just historically how Bitcoin moves in uptrends. I don't even have to say in bull markets. You can see the uptrend coming out of the bull market leading into Bitcoin halving. You see how it just pulls into these moving averages over and over again? And then we can go all the way back to the last bull market. And there's Bitcoin. Big dips into those moving average areas, the 20 and the 50. Normal. And then you can go all the way back, and you can look at all the way back here in 2017 bull run, pulling into those moving averages, even more volatile. And I will just echo what that comment the dude said. I wish I had the comment up so I can show it, but he did say everybody talks about diminishing returns, but not dips being diminished along the way each cycle. And if you look at through the cycles, the dips do look less, don't they? And even right now, the consolidation, the dip so far of the bull market for Bitcoin, it does look less. And maybe that's because we're seeing diminished returns and just a more level-headed Bitcoin price action. Go figure. As Bitcoin's breaking $100,000. It's crazy. I saw somebody earlier, somebody on X or something also just said 150,000 before December ends. I don't know. From a gains perspective, from where Bitcoin is right now, we're looking at like, a 46% move. Crazy. In crypto, we're seeing these cryptos, these altcoins make that move in a day. Danny Dip as usual. I don't know why this dude, Frank, he's always commenting Danny Dip, and I'm just always seeing his comments. My dip scenarios really trigger you, Frankie. Frankie boy. It's okay. You love the dips too. All right. That's it. I will end by glancing at this chart that I did in 2018, because the only reason I'm even doing this live stream is because it is kind of exciting and special to me, tracking these Bitcoin charts through multiple bear markets now and sitting here at $100,000 Bitcoin. It's insane. It's surreal. And what the mix of emotion is it's cool. Like, that's why I did the live stream. It's cool. I've been doing this for so long. I just felt like I needed to document this moment, but it wasn't really out of like true, like parabolic, euphoric excitement. I've done those live streams. This wasn't it. And that's weird. And I think it's weirdly bullish. So I just want to end with that. There doesn't seem to be that euphoria right now in the crypto markets. I think there's still a lot of people that are just like on the sidelines. They don't even know what's happening right now. I don't think retail is here. Altcoins have been pumping because I think there's been a lot of institutional inflow and whales buying to get in position for this bull market. So I think we have a ways to go, and really cool night though. Bitcoin breaking $100,000 on December 4th, 2024. And my computer did not freeze. Everybody, if you're out there in the live stream, thank you for helping me get over 1,000 likes on this live stream. It's a great number as Bitcoin breaks $100,000. If you're not a subscriber, please make sure to subscribe, turn notifications on, because it's going to be a fun bull market. And I have content nonstop covering crypto news, Bitcoin charts, altcoin season, altcoin dips, altcoin crashes, Bitcoin crashes, whatever you can think of, I will be covering it. So turn notifications on. And on your way out, if you enjoyed this content, if you're hyped that Bitcoin just broke 100,000, please smash the like button. It takes a split second, and your support really does mean a lot. So I'll see you all in the next video. Enjoy your night. God bless.